Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Well. Good morning, and welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel on this Monday, the 2nd of December, 2024. I missed Rabbit, but Rabbit, motherfucker. And on the channel where we wonder, we're on Biden family pardon watch, because is Hunter Biden the only one who's going to get one? I doubt it. There's a whole lots of asses to be covered, and in the Biden family, because everyone who got a check probably should be asking, when will the Department of Justice be sticking a microphone up, or not a microphone, a microscope up my ass, because I don't want any microphones up there, because, you know, the sounds and the fury and the smell, and then he wouldn't be able to use that microphone anymore. Anyway, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you had a good weekend. Lady Boomer and I did. We went to go see, we went back to the bar where we met. The band that was playing the night we was playing, Mick Sterling and the Stud Brothers. Beautiful blues band with 5 horns. Just it was an awesome show, and it was some nostalgia for me and Lady Boomer. Got to dance a little bit, got to have a couple cocktails, and just enjoyed herself for the weekend. And then yesterday we sat around and watched football all day until I had to get to bed early so I could go to work early, because it's that time of the year where I work not a ridiculous amount of hours, just a lot more hours than I normally do, because we basically get about 11 hours a day at UPS overnight, and then I do my other gigs and during the day like this and other stuff. And so if I am a little blurry-eyed or bloodshot or whatever, that's not because I've been partaking in the Hunter Biden sugar dance. I just am getting very little sleep this time of year. Just how it is. That's how December goes. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just telling you that's why I might look unshaven and unkempt. So there you go. Anyway, hi. Now, before I even get started, oh my gosh, we already have a new Streamlabs superstar sponsor of the day, and that would be Mr. Avocado Diablo, who dropped a small bullet in the tip jar already. And who says, once upon a time, someone told me if I did not clean up my act, I would never see the age of 50. Obviously, I did not listen, so I'm a bit fuzzy on who exactly said it. But as of today, I can say whoever you were, suck it, you were wrong. Happy birthday, Avocados Diabli. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Avocados Diabli. Happy birthday to you. What's up, my brother? Happy birthday, my friend. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, whatever it takes. And I'm excited for you, because 50 is a great age, and I'm glad you're there. So awesome. And also, another one, avocado. Well, back to back, we got another one. Thank you, Avocados Diabli, dropping another small bullet in the tip jar. Says, a microscope up your ass is okay, but if a microphone is a bridge too far, I mean, I won't judge you much, but that is a strange dividing line. Well, yeah, I suppose you're right, because the microscope would be uncomfortable too. But anyway, nobody has to speak into the microscope. Anyway, thank you for that bit of wisdom. Let's say hi to everybody and get on with the show, because the show is all about this guy and this guy. Oh, that guy. I forgot my green screen stops right there. Because no one is above the law. Except, yeah. By the way, if you have not shared the stream or just said, let's go to the daily tweet, I'll just call them tweets because it's easier to remember it that way. If you haven't said or whatever, done the daily, let's go to the tweet, you should, because that's how we get more people to come here every once in a while. So if everyone did that every day, boy, it would be a lot more. Well, it's already fun around here, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so do that. What's this? Creators adopting live automated mid-rolls saw an average of 20% uplift in in-stream revenue. I don't care about ad revenue. Shut up, YouTube. Fuck you. So anyway, 29 people here already. 8 likes. Hit the like button if you haven't done that, because there's definitely a discrepancy there. And let's say hi to the gang. Woohoo! Let's go. First in the chat today is Mr. Tyre Alexander, the Scourge, who gets the bell. And good morning, Mr. Tyre Alexander. And what's that? You know what, you're expecting me this early. That was me. And Tyre says, no, we weren't. Well, you're true. That is true. Also, good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg, Patty O Furniture. What's up? Nomads in the house. Bright and early. Also, good morning, Kara Soldier and Attack Alpaca. Also, good morning, Tyler F. Let's see. Rick Ashbringer, good morning. And I'm scrolling here. My favorite Canadian Jaeger ponies in the chat. Good morning also. Oh, shoot, that thing flipped on me. Good morning, Ravon Harris, a.k.a. Novar Syrah, a fine wine. Also, good morning, Somnambule Nation. And happy birthday to Avocados Diablo. Yes, there you go. Lord Stanhope is here. Rod Line, good morning. Amazing Disgrace is in the house. Also, K-Shoal, Don Julio, Commandant of Tress. I pronounced it correctly today. And GDSOB, Green Badger Outdoors. Johnny Boomer Tech, of course, sitting right over there. And good morning, Tribute Liberty. What's up, my brother? And, of course, Number One is in the house. Nice to have you all here. Final chat window. Not sure what's been going on, but I think I might have upset someone at YouTube. What happened to your chat window? I don't know. Steven Seagal was above the... someone else who was above the law. Steven Seagal, until he was under siege. Now he's just on dangerous ground. Yes, a Steven Seagal not triumvirate. What would you call that? A trilogy. A Steven Seagal trilogy of three-word titles of his fantastic, great artistic movies. Yeah. Anyway, love me some Steven. Look, nothing better than a Steven Seagal movie, watching him break people's arms and shit. It's kind of, it's just kind of cathartic in some ways. Good morning, Big Dave. I see ya. So lots of people here. Let's get on with it, because there's some trending topics, but let's just say that 9/10 of the trending topics are on the topic of the day. Okay, so we'll go through that pretty quickly, and then we're gonna just read some articles, see some reactions to this pardon. Okay, if you haven't heard, Hunter Biden is being pardoned by his father, Joe Biden. It's a story of a loving father doing something caring and kind for his son. It's just a complete piece of shit. Anyway, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's trending. Now, before I do that, though, some of you have so kindly done what has been asked of you. And, what'd I do there? Nothing bad. Have so kindly dropped a let's go into the requisite let's go box, replying to this tweet of the show. So I'm going to show a few of the GIFs, because that's what I do. Now that's my new thing. I show the GIFs of the notifications, which there's more coming as we speak. So let's see if I can find them. I've seen there's been more. Oh, by the way, because I did 2 shows, excuse me. I did 2 tweets at the show, one about 45 minutes to an hour ago, saying that we're going to be starting at 10 o'clock today, and then the other one. So let's start with this one. This one's from Green Badger Outdoors. Thank you for dropping a let's go in the chat. Yes, we go. Can anyone tell me that character's name? I know he lives in a van down by the river, but I can't remember his damn name. It's a funny character by Chris Farley, the comedic actor who is no longer with us. May he rest in peace. But I can't remember the character's name. Very funny character, though. Also, we got this one, little Donald Trump dancing to the guy playing on a bongo. I don't know how the song goes. Anyway, and then here we go. A nice little let's go with some pigs, which is, speaking of pigs, yeah, there's a lot of stuck pigs out there about the Kash Patel nomination, but I don't have I'm not talking about Kash Patel today. I refuse. Because there's just too much Hunter Biden shit to talk about. Well, not that I refuse, but you know what I mean. I'm just not going to do it. And then there was let's see. Oh, that's it? Wait a minute. I thought there were more than that. Okay, well, never mind. Anyway. All right, so there you go. There's all the let's goes, and if you can still have if you can click that link and just reply "let's go," that would be fan-fucking-tastic if you do that or whatever. Some of you retweeted though. Thank you, Trippy Liberty and Sound Humble Nation for retweeting the show. Also, Sound Humble Nation tweeted out the show on your own, like always. I appreciate that, and a couple other people have hit the like button and whatnot. So it'll get out there a little bit, but it always helps if you do. Just reply to something. Reply to it, and that's how the algorithm on X works. Replies are the best. And then you'll also get my notifications on X by doing that. That helps too. All right, let's get into the show. Trending topics today. Of course, today is... Now this one's kind of interesting because today is Cyber Monday, right? And when I came into my studio here and... clicked on the trending topics. Normally on Cyber Monday would be in the top 5 trending topics. Well, it's not. And so, but again, I always talk about what the day is, either a Saints Day or something. So today is Cyber Monday, and I just found it fascinating that hardly anybody's talking about Cyber Monday. I mean, look, for some reason, the top tweet on Cyber Monday right now is my tweet from yesterday of this show. Or no, this is from November 22nd. What the hell? So apparently nobody's talking about Cyber Monday. That is just weird. And even on the latest tab, now there's a few specials on here. This is Good Barber something and whatever. Different people talking about their Cyber Monday deals. But anyway, so if you do click on that link, you're going to have to click the latest tab right here rather than the top because nobody's talking about it because everyone's talking about something else that's going on in the country right now. Let's see. Also, today is... and also if you have kids, school-age kids, you might want to figure out where the hell they are today because today is National Skip School Day. Now, if someone said National Skip School Day on a Sunday is wild because somebody put the wrong day. But anyway, Pop Base says it's National Skip School Day. It doesn't really say anything about that. But, I didn't know there was a National Skip School Day. I don't think there was a National Skip School Day when I was a kid. You, Johnny? No, you either. Anyone have a National Skip School Day when it was a kid? I know you had like a skip day that like the seniors all planned a skip day, senior skip day. We did that in my school. And I can't remember what I did on my senior skip day. And the thing is, none of our teachers really got on our case about senior skip day because it was kind of like that. When you have senioritis, you basically got some tests coming up for your seniors exams, but even those are kind of bullshit because you've already done all the work to graduate, unless you're really scrambling, like unless you're one of those guys. But I was so way ahead of everything, I could have graduated without even taking classes my second semester of my senior year. But anyway, Senior Skip Day, but it is National Skip School Day. Oh my God. Oh, wait a minute. This is terrible. Hang on a second, real quick. Good morning. Banks is in the house. What up, Robert Banks? Nice to see you. Now, this is bad news, though. Apparently, this is June 14th. What? New shooting breaks out after 2,000 teens skipped school and swarmed Nassau County Beach and Long Island. Teens were seen fighting, dancing on cop cars, and eventually shooting someone after they skipped school for a senior skip day. Well, that's at the end of the year, last year. I don't know. So anyway, apparently it's senior national, and people talking about who cares? We're done. We're done with that topic. Moving on. There's nothing exciting about that. Also, it is, celebrity birthday, even though it was yesterday, but I don't do a show yesterday. Besides Avocatus Diabli, again, wish happy birthday to Avocatus Diabli. Yesterday, here, I'm going to pause this because I got to do this for Avocatus Diabli because this is when she was still hot. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. Before she was still hot and then when she was hot because, can't think of teenagers hot. But anyway, it was Britney Spears' birthday. Britney Spears, 43 years old. Holy shit. Okay, I guess that sounds about right. Britney Spears is 43 years old. Here, I'll just play this for Avocatus Diabli. There's no music. I suppose I could put my own music to it because, Anyway, happy birthday, Britney Spears. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to. Okay, there was music, but I can't play it because it's Britney Spears music. Anyway, Britney Spears, 43 years old. And she, a little rough for wear these days, but and a little bit crazy. Kind of matches their song, crazy. But she's still alive and looking pretty good for an old lady. It's kind of funny calling Britney Spears an old lady. I just think of Britney Spears as a chick in her 20s who, started putting less and less clothes on, And anyway, so happy birthday to Britney Spears. So there you go. 43 years old, still going. Well, still going because I don't know if she's going strong or anything. 16 years ago. Oh, here's there apparently is a 16 years ago. Britney Spears released Circus. Oh, she had another album. So anyway, happy birthday, Britney Spears. Crazy. I almost said that out loud, Tyre. I almost said that out loud. Oh, Lord. Crazy pussy is great. Is the best pussy. I said it out loud very softly. All right, moving on. Let's see. What else we got? I Love Jesus is trending. I'm not 100% sure why it just happened to be trending today, but it is. I don't know. Is this a special day? I don't even know. But anyway, so a lot of people are saying, I love Jesus and I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. I'm fine with the message. I just don't know why it happened to be trending. Maybe because this AI picture came up. Don't disappoint, or excuse me, okay, this is clearly an AI because AI can't spell. Disappoint Satan by typing I love Jesus. Well, you validated Satan by writing disappoint wrong. Jesus. Okay, it's Jesus. Thank you. So anyway, so there's a name I love to hear. I love to sing its worth. It sounds like music in my ear. The sweetest name on earth. Refrain, how I love Jesus. How I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Because he first loved me. So that's a good sentiment, man. I disagree. I agree with that. So there you go. All right. And then the other trending thing that has nothing to do with Hunter Biden is Omer Neutra. Now this saddens me. Omer Neutra is an American citizen, and this is his parents pictured here. He's from Long Island. He's being held captive in Gaza. Please say a prayer for his safety and freedom. Okay, now that's the kind of the shot. Unfortunately, the chaser is horrible. Omer Neutra was born in New York City, raised on Long Island. The hostages' families forum confirmed that Omer Neutra, 21, American-Israeli hostage who was believed to be alive, was killed and his body kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th. This body is still held by Hamas in Gaza. Why? I don't know. I mean, may his memory be a blessing. So, and Michael Rappaport wrote that. Michael, you were so dedicated to them when you saw them and always demanded his and others' return. Here we are on the Long Island Israel Fest. We still have to bring Omer home. Thank you for being a loud and proud voice of the people. Am Yisrael Kai. So that's him with Omer's parents. So, it's all fucked up, man. Let's see. Oh, here. Omar's parents spoke with profound force for their son's large gathering in Central Park, not far from where Omar was born and raised. They reminded the world that their son has been held hostage for over 421 days and needed priority of the United States government to help push for his release. Just a few hours later, they would hear the devastating news that their son had been killed on October 7, 2023, and his body has been held the whole time. Omar was an American citizen who grew up in New York and embodied all of the typical American traits. He never missed a Knicks game. He loved playing sports with his friends and family. He loved going to summer camp in his local diner on Long Island. Omar came to Israel to volunteer with the Israeli Defense Forces, a trait of loyalty and love for his homeland, Israel. We must continue to fight to bring Omar home for a proper burial and fight for the remaining hostages still living. So, sad story, man. It's just terrible. Oh my God, corpses make terrible hostages. Okay, gotcha. Fuck. Oh Lord, imagine the lack of my support and non-bleeding heart. Okay, I gotcha. Okay. I know we disagree on that, GD. That's well established. So anyway, for those who give a shit, pray for Omar's family. There you go. Feast day is next week. Oh, okay. Well, I missed that, Rick. I wasn't sure. All right, moving on. Now, everything else trending today, every single thing trending today, other than Omar, because the other things weren't even trending. Those are just the days. Even Britney Spears wasn't trending. Oh, I Love Jesus was trending. Okay, I Love Jesus, Omar Nutra were trending. But everything else trending today is related to the Hunter Biden pardon that Joe Biden has just announced that's going to happen. Okay. So, first of all, so I'm just going to go in order and give a little bit of synopsis on every little thing, and then we're going to go through some of the articles. Okay. Kushner is trending. Now, the reason Kushner is trending is because Charles Kushner, who is Jared Kushner's father, are pointing out that Donald Trump, Democrats and liberal allies keep pointing out that Donald Trump had pardoned his son-in-law's father in 2020 to excuse President Biden's unprecedented move. They are being dishonest. Charles Kushner pleaded guilty to tax evasion and other federal crimes in 2005. He served his 2-year prison sentence and paid the maximum fine the judge could give. His record was cleared through a pardon by Trump 15 years after his conviction and sentencing. President Biden has pardoned his son before sentencing, wiping away a possible $1.3 million tax evasion fine and years in prison. More importantly, the pardon is backdated to 2014 to include all crimes that he may have committed long before the 2016-2019 gun and tax evasion felony crimes. 2014 is when Hunter began working for lucrative Ukrainian interests when his father was tasked with responsibilities for that country as vice president. So a lot of the people on the left are saying, "Oh yeah, what about Kushner? What about?" And even secular talker like Kyle Kalinske, this jagoff. Hunter should absolutely go to prison for taking $2 billion from Saudi Arabia and giving them classified information, as well as protecting them during their genocide in Yemen. Oh, wait, that was Jared Kushner. Well, what does that have to do with Hunter Biden's pardon? What does that? In fact, well, we'll get into it. There's a whole bunch of lore. So anyway, that's why Jared Kushner is trending. Okay. And that's whatever. Chris Cillizza, a colossally selfish decision that will allow every Trump supporter to note that Democrats say one thing and do another. You know what's funny about this, by the way? As we go through this, you're going to notice how every person who supports Joe Biden or Democrat or media or, Lincoln Project, whoever, all of them, Joe Walsh, every single one of them, in talking about why Joe Biden lying about him not going to pardon Hunter Biden and why this is bad. Almost every single one of them, to a T, have to relate it back to Trump, how it affects Trump, which tells you they don't give a shit about this pardon. They don't give a shit that Joe Biden went back on his word. They only care about it because of how it affects Trump and his future pardons. You'll notice that. And that's a theme I've been seeing all morning because I've been looking at this all morning. So let's move on. Other things trending because of Hunter Biden. Hunter, of course, because it's, ambassador to France. That's because Donald Trump nominated Charles Kushner as an ambassador to France. Which is kind of funny because, he pardoned him of that, the other stuff. But here's why some people like that. Nominating Charles Kushner as ambassador to France is another beautiful decision by President Trump. He was prosecuted by Chris Christie, who will be nominated for nothing. Let's just say Christie chose his allies poorly. Okay, whatever. Let's just be honest. Well, maybe not. Some ambassadorships are basically, and I hate politicians for this because you'd think there'd be a better reason to nominate someone for an ambassadorship. But some ambassadorships are kind of like, little cake reward jobs to donors and people a lot, right? And I wish they were, we're taken more seriously sometimes. But I wonder, though, an ambassadorship to France, do you really want to be the ambassador to France right now? If you really know what's going on in France, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to be the ambassador to France. But anyway, they're a friendly country for now. So, we'll see how long that lasts. Anyway, somebody here says Trump picks Charles Kushner for the U.S. ambassador to France. Charlie's a master deal maker and philanthropist. Mainstream media attacked him instantly. Proof it's a good pick. Yeah, right now, with every one of these Trump picks, I laugh at who is bitching about them, especially the ones for Kash Patel. If you follow me on X, you know what I'm talking about. All right. Also trending because of the Hunter Biden pardon. Hunter is trending. Of course, Hunter's trending because that's who it is. Now, I'll come back to that. Also, Burisma, you know why? Because Hunter worked for Burisma with no background in oil, whatever shit that Burisma does. He just got a big old paycheck from them, and then 10% went to the big guy, right? Also trending, the big guy, of course, because, we want to know who the big guy is. Now, here's a picture of Hunter Biden smoking crack. The issue isn't the kid's gun, crack, and child trafficking crimes. It's the money laundering scheme headed to the big guy. The U.S. has funded $183 billion war to cover up the biggest criminal operation in American history. No wonder they tried to kill Trump. Okay, right? Don't you have to be a man whore to be an ambassador to France? Well, kind of. You gotta think about that whole pegging thing. Anyway, also trending, no one is above the law because, that's been the Democrat mantra regarding Trump. And then all of a sudden, who is above the law? Well, that's the name of the show today. No one is above the law, except ... Because I can name a whole bunch of people who are above the law. Hillary Clinton's certainly above the law, right? Hillary Clinton, she shouldn't be in jail. Who else? Well, Hunter Biden, obviously, because, even before he paid his fine and had his sentence, unlike Charles Kushner, and also any possible crime from back to 2014 when really the only thing that he had ever been charged was in 2019 with the tax evasion and other shit. Hello, Eternal. Yes, clear evidence of breaking the law, but Joe, of course, wants his money. Well, yeah, he's got to have his money. Good morning, Andrew Thorsten, too. Anyway, so that's trending. Also trending because of Hunter Biden. Now, listen, I got to tell you this. If you are on X and you listen, you pay attention to X and you're a Democrat or even Joseph Rahim Biden, because they still post shit on X, you'd be really concerned if almost the entire trending list on X is related to your son, including the word hypocrisy. Not a good thing when everything on the list is trending because of your son, and hypocrisy is also trending. So anyway, now you can't say no one is above the law while also celebrating illegal aliens and Hunter Biden's pardon. Democrats' cognitive dissonance. Excuse me, I'm having a hiccup. By the way, my coffee day is in the wonderful Johnny Cash mug that my wife brought back to me from Nashville. I love this cup. It's one of my favorites. Had a little guitar for a handle, and some delicious Jamaican blend coffee today. Democrats' cognitive dissonance and hypocrisy are exactly what why they lost, and they still aren't aware. They're unaware. Let's just put it that way. So That's perfect. Now, by the way, we'll get to this. I'm so tempted to just start reading tweets and shit, but I got to wait till I get to the main story. Also trending because of Hunter Biden is Fifth Amendment. Now that Hunter Biden has been pardoned, Patel, Bondi, and Congress should compel his testimony about the big guy. It's funny. I made that point this morning. I said, well, gosh, now that he's been pardoned and can't incriminate himself because the Fifth Amendment, he has no more Fifth Amendment protection because he's already been pardoned for this stuff. Now you can testify and be compelled to testify against whoever the big guy is. And that should be the very first question in the very first hearing, no matter what it is, to Hunter Biden, if he goes on the witness stand or whatever they call it. Mr. Biden, can you tell us who is the big guy, quote unquote, and what would he be getting his 10% for? That should be the very first question. Because he can't plead the Fifth anymore because he's been pardoned for anything that he's done since 2014, and that's within that span of time. So there's no Fifth Amendment protection because you're not incriminating yourself. You've already been pardoned for everything. So there you go. Now, someone here says, though, wait a minute, for people claiming Hunter still has Fifth Amendment. No, he doesn't. The second he accepted the pardon, he is immune from prosecution. He forfeited his Fifth Amendment. That second he accepted the pardon. Now, we don't know if is he accepted the pardon? Because, yes, a pardon can be declined. Supreme Court rulings. The Supreme Court has ruled that a pardon is not valid if the recipient does not accept it. For example, in the United States versus Wilson, President Woodrow Wilson granted a pardon to a prisoner, but the prisoner refused it. The Supreme Court ruled that a pardon was not in effect because it was not accepted. But apparently Hunter Biden is accepting the pardon. So we'll see how that goes. That's why Fifth Amendment is trending. Also trending, Nixon. Milhouse. Richard Nixon. Hello, Kessler. Richard Nixon. Wait, the Johnny Nash mug? I didn't say Johnny Nash. Did I say Johnny Nash? I meant Johnny Cash. Did I say Johnny Nash yet? I can see clearly now the rain is gone. No, not that guy. This is Johnny Cash. And in fact, it's a Johnny Cash cup that has the Old Sun Records label on it from I Walk the Line, written by Johnny Cash and the Tennessee 2, which I didn't know that was Johnny Cash and the Tennessee 2. Oh, no, you said it. I thought maybe I said Johnny Nash. Or a Johnny Nash. Oh, I got it. Oh, a Johnny Nash mug from Cashville. Oh, I get it. That's very good. Very good. Very good. Very nice. Boomer brain mode. Don't give me that boomer brain mode shit. Get me out of here. All right. So anyway, Nixon. Richard Milhouse Nixon is trending. And the reason Richard Milhouse Nixon is trending, I think, is because people are trying to compare they're comparing the pardon of Hunter Biden on things he has not been charged with to Gerald Ford pardoning Richard Nixon for things he was never charged with. And so, because people are saying, oh, you can't pardon someone you can't blanket pardon them for anything they possibly could have done. And I think the precedent might be with Gerald Ford's pardoning of Nixon. Someone here, Sean Davis, says Joe Biden's 11-year blanket pardon of Hunter is even more expansive than the pardon Gerald Ford gave to Richard Nixon in the aftermath of the Watergate scandal. So here is, and remember, Nixon was given a fairly specific pardon by Ford. Here it is. Now, therefore, I, Gerald R. Ford, President of the United States, pursuant to the pardon power conferred upon me by Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution, have granted and by these presents do grant a full, free, and absolute pardon unto Richard Nixon for all offenses against the United States which he, Richard Nixon, has committed or may have committed or taken part in during the period from January 20th, 1969 through August 9th, 1974. which is basically his entire entire term on office. Now, for some reason, I thought there were some specifics to that pardon. And by the way, Richard Nixon didn't really do anything illegal. Sure, I don't know if he was supposed to. I don't know. Anyway. And that's why he's trending. And they're trying to compare it to the pardon of Richard Nixon. Moving on, also trending is Ukraine and China because, that's where all the money came from and the kickback, the 10% for the big guy, all came from Ukraine and China. And also, what was the other? Was it Belarus? I think it was Belarus too, but they don't talk about Belarus much, but they do talk a lot about Ukraine and China. China.
China is asshole.
And then also trending because of it, the Justice Department is trending. This motherfucker sent agents to the house. This guy's kind of pissed because this guy says, this motherfucker sent agents to my house for J6 bullshit, but pardoned his son for any crime he may have committed in the last decade. I hope this Justice Department is reading this. Fuck y'all. He gets a bell and a cheer for that. Hell yeah. So anyway, also trending because all these things are gonna come up, so that's why I'm going through really fast. Presidents is trending. President Biden won't pardon Hunter because there's a whole bunch. I can't even do it. President's trending. Also, liars. Again, every one of these are related to Joe Biden. Liars is trending. You don't want liars trending when it's talking about you and your son. And then finally, the other one that I pulled up here that's trending, Eric Holder, because Eric Holder open mouth and inserted foot. And we'll get to that in a minute. All right, let's get to the main topic here, which is going to be the only topic today. And it's because there's some entertaining stuff. Hopefully it's entertaining. But let's look at some of the reports on this pardon. This is from ABC News 6 in Philadelphia.
This morning, President Biden is en route to Angola after a holiday weekend spent with family on Nantucket.
By the way, so they spent the holiday weekend in Nantucket because they have all kinds of money and stuff, and they have all kinds of homes everywhere because, Joe Biden's never gotten any extra money from his 45, 6, whatever year career in politics. But I got a feeling that this pardon, hello, Special K and Acid, by the way, the honorable mention favorite Canadian, I have a feeling that Hunter Biden said at Thanksgiving dinner, Dad, you're about to leave office, and that guy with the funny hair is going to be in office because your sidekick sucks, literally and figuratively. And I'm thinking that if I start getting asked questions once this whole thing's over, your ass is going to jail unless you give me a pardon. Because I do not want to go to fucking jail. Now, I don't know. He wasn't sentenced in that thing yet, but it's almost like if they didn't sentence him to some time in jail, then it'd be really look bad for the Justice Department, the court system, whatever, because then no one is above the law would be a lie anyway. So instead of making no one's above the law because I'm in jail, how about you just pardon me so I don't have to tell all? Because I'll write a fucking tell-all book if you don't pardon me. And Joe said, well, anyway, okay, we can do that. That's what Joe said. That's literally, there was a recording device and I know what he said. Anyway, let's finish this report.
Stopping briefly in Washington in between and announcing he's pardoning his son, Hunter. Hunter was convicted of lying on a form about his drug use when he purchased a gun and in a separate case agreed to plead guilty to tax charges.
Okay.
Biden argues his son's charges came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. The president...
Except he had been under investigation for years, and they decided not to prosecute. And then they found out in Congress, and they they decided to prosecute. What the hell? Yes, because no one is above the law, right? Anyway, and also it was a show trial anyway, because they wanted to prove that this Justice Department was not biased against Donald Trump. They didn't have any lawfare going on because, look, Hunter Biden got prosecuted. Look, Bob Menendez, a Democrat, got prosecuted. Bob Menendez has been under like watch for 15, 20 years because that corrupt bastard. Anyway.
President's decision is a reversal from a position he held for months.
Oh, yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
Oh, he ruled out the
goes
pardon.
beyond Hunter's gun and tax charges, also covering offenses against the United States which he has committed or may have committed or taken part in during the period from January 1, 2014 through December 1, 2024.
Wait, let's run that back. The pardon includes offenses against the United States, which he has committed or may have committed or taken part in during the period from January 1, 2014 through December 1, 2024. Now, remember, a lot of those charges that the Justice Department could have charged Hunter Biden with had already expired their statute of limitations. And that's one of the criticisms of the Justice Department in these cases. And some of them are severe, very, very important charges, right? So why would you pardon him for things he cannot be charged for? And again, note the wording, offenses against the United States, which he has committed or may have committed or taken part in. Who is Joe Biden really pardoning here? Is he pardoning his son? Or is he in some ways pardoning himself? That's the question that comes up in another article we'll get to.
During the period from January 1, 2014 through December 1, 2024. The chairman of the House Oversight Committee, a Republican, accuses Biden of skirting accountability. Democratic House Representative Greg Stanton of Arizona also criticized Biden's decision, saying Hunter committed felonies and was convicted by a jury of his peers.
Yeah, so are a lot of people who get pardoned, though. Look, the pardon power of the president, as much as you hate it, it is an absolute power on federal charges in the United States of America. Now, there's a lot of states that probably could get Hunter in trouble too, but he's going to be absolved of federal charges for those years. I don't begrudge Biden for giving a pardon to some shitbag like his son, but the fact that he's for months and the spokesman and everyone said that he's not going to do it, and then he does it anyway. That's the problem. That's I suppose, what the hypocrisy is trending and all these other things. Good morning, Guns and Cafe, a.k.a. Reaccion Puerto Rico. If you didn't know that, then the Guns and Cafe, as in cafe in Spanish, is coffee. And coffee is what Reaccion Puerto Rico sells at enforcementcoffee.com. In fact, here, let me just do this. I'll just type it in here. Enforcement. I don't know if it turns into a link or not, but that's where it is. Go check it out. Great coffee. Very, very happy. Makes me very happy while I'm drinking it. I have to order more, though. I'm ordering some.
Is not the first president to use his pardon powers before leaving office.
Oh, for fuck's
President
sake.
Clinton pardoned a former business partner and his half-brother, Roger Clinton. President Trump pardoned Charles Kushner.
No shit that presidents have used the pardon power before. Who wrote this shit? Of course presidents use pardon power. They pardon all kinds of people, and often shady people. Fuck, what was the governor of Illinois, the Democrat that Trump pardoned, who's now an ally of Trump? But I suppose they're talking about family members. I don't know.
His son-in-law's father, and just announced as Trump's pick.
Yeah, and remember, and again, Kushner was his shit's from 2005. He paid the fines. He spent 2 years in prison, and Trump pardons him almost 15 years, 18 years later, after he's already done stuff. Rob Blagojevich or whatever his name is. But so there's a difference between pardoning someone who hasn't even been sentenced, hasn't served 1 second in jail for it, versus someone who paid their dues and is an upstanding citizen now.
For ambassador to France. In response to Biden's decision, Trump wrote, "Does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter include the January 6th hostages?" Addressing a promise he campaigned off of. Trump has also promised to go after those he considers political enemies.
Trump's got to get a new makeup person, I'm just saying, or a new spray tan person or whatever. They do a terrible job on a spray tan. Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. We go back here. Who else is he going to pardon?
He campaigned off of. Trump has also promised to go after those he considers political enemies and has announced plans to fire FBI Director Christopher Wray, replacing him with longtime ally Kash Patel, who has vowed to help the president-elect with his plan for retribution.
Sort of. You mean to go after people who've done criminal things? That's Reaction Puerto Rico's back. There's a good link to Enforcement Coffee. Thank you, Reaction Puerto Rico. Check out Enforcement Coffee.
Putting his son in the Bureau of Prisons within the power and control of Donald Trump, a political rival.
Oh, that just
it was
switched
probably
to
something
one
as
side.
a father he needed
That's
to
not
do
me.
To protect his son.
Hunter Biden potentially faced decades in prison.
Okay, we're going to skip that. So you get the idea. I wanted to show, there's 2 more. I'm not going to show them both. Let's see. This is who's
U.S.
this?
President Joe Biden said.
This is actually, I am going to show this. This is the Reuters report, and let's see if there's any different tone. Now that one seemed very factual. We'll see how Reuters, except for, let's see, the idea that other presidents have pardoned people. Is that actually necessary? Did anybody not know that presidents have pardoned people, including people who are related to them in some way? We pretty much do that. But it's weird. None of the people that were pardoned prior, the family members, were pardoned prior to any conviction or a blanket pardon for anything they would have done over 10 years. Good morning, Maddie. So that's the weird part about this one.
U.S. President Joe Biden said on Sunday he had pardoned his son, Hunter Biden, who had been convicted of making false statements.
This sounds like an intern reading this, doesn't it? It's like, this is weird. Maybe it's just Reuters, I don't know. Which is, by the way, we do have what do they call it? It used to be called Thomson Reuters. What's it called now? Anyway, you have the Thomson Reuters, the legal publishing company, is here in the Twin Cities, not too far from where I live.
On a gun background check and illegally possessing a firearm. He had also pled guilty to federal tax charges. In a statement released by the White House.
Okay, I'm just going to go straight to the statement. Wait, why is Kash Patel on here? Oh, Kash Patel is on X now. He was not on X before. I did not know that. Anyway, let's I'm going to get the AP. Biden pardons his son Hunter despite previous pledges not to. Now that's interesting. That they use that as a headline. I expect that headline to change sometime during the day because it sounds a little negative for Biden, doesn't it? Rather than just pardons the son, but going back on a pledge. President Joe Biden pardoned his son Hunter, sparing younger Biden a possible prison sentence for a felony gun and tax convictions, and reversing his past promises not to use the extraordinary powers of the presidency for the benefit of his family. Well, why would he stop now? He's been doing it his whole fucking career. The Democratic president had previously said he would not pardon his son or commute his sentence after conviction in the 2 cases in Delaware and Florida. The move on Sunday night comes weeks before Hunter Biden was set to receive his punishment after his trial, conviction in the gun case, and guilty plea on tax charges, and less than 2 months before President-elect Donald Trump is set to return to the White House. It caps a long-running legal saga for the younger Biden and the older Biden and the Joe Biden and Jim Biden and the rest of the Biden family, who publicly disclosed he was under federal investigation in December 2020. Now, so it's been running for a while, a month after his father's 2020 victory, and casts a pall over the elder Biden's legacy. Does it now? Does it cast a pall over the elder Biden's legacy? as if he had a real legacy that's not propped up by a bunch of bullshit. Anyway, Biden, who time and time again pledged to Americans that he would restore norms and respect for the rule of law after Trump's first term in office, ultimately used his position to help his son, breaking his public pledge to Americans that he would do no such thing. In a statement released Sunday evening, Biden said, "I believe in the just..." No, we're going to read the full statement anyway. But then they add this: Biden's sweeping pardon covers not just the gun and tax offenses against the younger Biden, but also any other offenses against the United States which he has committed or may have committed or taken part in during the period from January 1, 2014 to December 1st, 2024, aka yesterday. And then in June, he categorically ruled out a pardon, blah, 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 blah. We're going to see a whole bunch of that coming up. So that's how the AP is treating it. Front Page magazine now. Here's what I was talking about earlier, how he's kind of pardoning himself in this. And this may backfire. If Hunter Biden is forced to testify for any reason about his activities from 2014 to 2024, this could not go well for Joe Biden, Jim Biden, and the rest of the Biden family. Because look, I don't think anyone else who received checks from some of these companies where they did no work are immune. Is he going to pardon his whole fucking family, excluding himself? We'll see. He might. That could be coming. Anyway, Joe Biden did not just pardon Hunter, he pardoned himself. That's the title of the article, and this is by Daniel Greenfield. At Front Page. The long investigation into the Biden crime family ended when its principal member extended a full and unconditional pardon to its front man for any and all crimes that Hunter Biden might have committed or taken part in from January 2014 through December 1st, 2024. The 11-year pardon by Biden for his son and apparent co-conspirator is unprecedented in both its scope and its brazen, shameless criminality. Biden's pardon begins in the last 2 years of his vice presidency, when the lame duck politician was using Hunter's to aggressively monetize his fading political influence by conspiring with oligarchs around the world. Now, this definitely takes a different tone than the AP now, doesn't it? President Biden claimed in a press release that he pardoned his son to protect him from being charged for lying on his gun form and failing to pay taxes. But if Biden had been trying to deal with those two cases, he could have just commuted the sentences or offered a narrower pardon. The gun form incident took place in 2018 and Hunter stopped paying taxes in 2016. Why start the pardon clock on January 2014? And why does it end at the last possible moment? What is Joe Biden really trying to protect against? Well, 2014 was the year that Hunter Biden joined the board of Ukraine's Burisma, scoring a $1 million payday and millions more for the Biden crime family. It was also the year that Yelena Baturina, wife of former Moscow Mayor Yuri Lushkov, sent $3.5 million to a Hunter organization and attended an event with Joe Biden in D.C. It was also the year that Kazakh oligarch, who had just taken over the BTA bank, with whom both Joe was photographed, sent six figures. Now, were all these foreign oligarchs sending big checks to a man who had just been discharged from a naval reserve over his cocaine use, or to his dad, who is actually the one in power? Should I do a poll in the chat? I don't think I need to. Joe Biden did not pardon Hunter Biden. He pardoned himself. Hunter, an inept crackhead who could barely write coherent emails, was not being showered with checks, wire transfers, and even diamonds because of his legal and business acumen. The only reason an addict was being sent so much money that he could use it to indulge the worst appetites, that was because of his father. The big guy was always the mastermind. Hunter Biden initiated the calls, and then Joe joined them. Hunter took foreign oligarchs to D.C. events where his father just happened to show up, and when Hunter needed to demand cash, as he did with one Chinese company, he invoked the name of his silent partner, Daddy. The last remaining defenders of Joe Biden claim that he pardoned his son as an act of love. Aww. I don't hear. Better love loving father would never have used a troubled son as a patsy. He wouldn't use foreign oligarchs to finance his son's crack habit. Using your son in a criminal enterprise, even while he's struggling to recover from his brother's death, is not an act of love, but selfish, cruel, and evil. Ouch. A loving father would not have waited to see how the election would play out before pardoning his son. These are not the actions of a loving father, but a cynical and abusive criminal who always put his own needs and desires ahead of his broken family. The only reason Joe Biden needed to pardon Hunter was because he used his son as a frontman for influence peddling, and not just his son, but multiple other members of his family, even shamelessly using his grandchildren to launder the loot from foreign criminals. Yeah, I want every Biden who got a check under the microscope right now. Why did you get this check from Burisma? I don't know. Even as a little boy, Hunter had been abused by his father for political purposes. From the very beginning, Joe cheated on his wife, Jill, when his wife was killed. Wait, what? From the very beginning, Joe cheated on his wife with Jill. When his wife was killed in a car accident and his two sons lay in the hospital, the new senator dragged the media to their bedside and posed with the battered boys for public photos to show what a great father he was. After Biden's death, Joe plotted to use his son's passing as a platform for a presidential run. Even as Hunter spun out of control, he went on using his last son to keep the money from China and elsewhere flowing, despite how much damage it was doing to him. Now I'm going to stop here a second. Thank you, Avocados Diabli, who says, yeah, but wait till... oh, yeah. Avocados Diabli, small bowl in the tip jar. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Who says... yeah, but wait till he pardons Amelia Earhart for her parts in the Lindbergh baby incident and 9/11 because her convictions were a miscarriage of justice, and they try to explain that one to us. Wait, Amelia Earhart was part of the 9/11 and the Lindbergh baby incident? That would... I just got the joke.
You know the thing.
Yeah, that... oh my God. You got to understand why that's funny. That is funny. Okay, that's good, AD. By the way, today's tip goal is, what is it? 77 something or 70, whatever, because it's, what is it? The gas. I can't remember what I put up there. Gas for the, what the hell I put in there? Oh, gas for the snowblower. It's the gas for the snowblower fund, trying to get to whatever that number is there. I can't read it because it's too small. I need some better glasses. Oh, I'm not wearing glasses. Anyway, so President Biden spent his miserable 4 years in office lying about every bit of it. He lied about not having any dealings with Hunter's business partners. He lied about not knowing what was going on. And then he finally, when Hunter was going down, he lied that he wouldn't pardon him. Over and over again, he was asked this year if he would pardon his son. He always said he wouldn't. As recently as this month, the White House was still insisting he would never do it. We have clips. And then 3 days ahead of Hunter's sentencing, President Biden issued a press release that begins with the lie, quote, I said I wouldn't interfere with the Justice Department's decision-making, and I kept my word. And concludes with the lie, for my entire career, I have followed a simple principle. Just tell the American people the truth. Not one single word of any of that is true. Biden lied to the American people from the beginning to the end, and he's still lying now. Joe Biden ran one of the most corrupt presidential administrations in history. It's corruption centered around the members of the Biden family. He pardoned his son for crimes committed when he was vice president and president. This, quote, full and unconditional, end quote, pardon is not for lying on a gun form and tax evasion. It's for, quote, any and all, well, not quote, but any and all crimes covering much of his father's time in office. Those crimes are not just Hunter's, they are Joe's crime. The Constitution does not provide presidents with a great deal of leeway in using the power to grant reprieves and pardons, except in cases of impeachment. The power to pardon was never meant to allow presidents to cover up corrupt behavior by their associates. Presidents were empowered with power to pardon offenses against the United States in order to intervene in miscarriages of justice and to settle rebellions and insurrections. They were not supposed to abuse the power to pardon their own family members and criminal associates. And Hunter may not be the last member of the Biden crime family to get a pardon. That's what I'm telling you. He's going to pardon his brother, too. Watch. At least 9 Biden family members received money from foreign entities, including the big guy. Is he gonna pardon 9 family members? All 9 family members who got checks? That's a lot. I mean, they were, oh my God. As President Biden's last days in office tick down, he may want to consider pardoning himself. Yeah, so look, and that's going to be the ultimate test. If Biden pardons himself, what does that open the door for? The guy with the funny hair pardoning himself. All right, real quick. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. Another small bowl in the tip jar. Appreciate it. 80 says, of course he was using Hunter to cover his crimes since he was a child. He didn't need another one of his kids to take showers with him. Why I never. Thank you, AD. Appreciate it. Also, good morning. Now, what studios? My friend Wu from high school, my dear friend, says, good morning, P-Dog, coming from the country where the leaders lie, people die, and sons don't fry. Well, there you go. That's very good. Appreciate it. All righty then. Shall we move on? We've got lots more, and we're got 30 minutes to do it. All right. So, just the idea that you're getting some different takes, but this one's going to be for the right too. Miranda Devine. We always knew Joe Biden would pardon his troubled son Hunter. It's fitting the president would break another promise to the American people. I can just give you the lead here. We always knew Joe Biden would pardon his troubled son Hunter, no matter how many times he promised he wouldn't. So it's fitting that one of the final acts of this mendacious president before leaving office was to break yet another promise to the American people. Well, he quit the race. That's breaking a promise to his donors. Anyway, thus, on Sunday night, the president issued a statement from the White House declaring that he had just signed a full and unconditional pardon for Robert Hunter Biden, age 54. The pardon Joe vowed he would never give comes just days before Hunter was due to be sentenced over a felony gun conviction in Delaware in June, and California felony tax fraud charges of September, to which he pleaded guilty on the first day of the trial. Joe claims that Hunter was selectively and unfairly prosecuted. Well, wait a minute. Wait. If he was selectively and unfairly prosecuted, why did he plead guilty in California and get guilty by a jury of his peers in Delaware? In fucking Delaware of all places. Come on, man. Right here.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. In an amusing twist, the president explained away all his lies to the American people by lying about his lying. Quote, "For my entire career, I have followed the simple principle. Just tell the American people the truth." Yeah, except for when you plagiarized speeches and told people you were at the top of your class and all that other shit that made you drop out of the 1988 presidential race. I'm not even going to read the rest of this. You can get how the gist of this one's going. I want to get to the other stuff, people talking about it. Speaking of, remember I said Eric Holder was trending? Well, Eric Holder reared his ugly head, his ugly gun-running, lying piece of shit head. Former Attorney General Eric Holder, who described himself as President Barack Obama's wingman while in office, tried to defend President Joe Biden's pardon of his son Hunter on Sunday night, saying he was unfairly singled out and found guilty. President Biden pardoned his son for crimes dating back to January 2nd, 2014, a period that covers Hunter Biden's tax evasion and foreign influence peddling schemes, in addition to the gun charges he was convicted of earlier this year. Well, look at that. Gun charges. That's certainly what Eric Holder should be brought up on, but, Attorney General running guns to Mexico, getting Border Patrol agents killed. What? No big deal. Holder, known for his political loyalty to President Obama, mocking the ideal of a nonpartisan Department of Justice, claimed on X, formerly known as Twitter, that President Biden was correct and then tried to deflect criticism of Kash Patel. And this is what he wrote. Hunter, here's the reality. No U.S. attorney would have charged this case given the underlying facts. After a 5-year investigation, the facts as discovered only made that clear. Well, only made it clear he was found guilty, asshole! Had his name been Joe Smith, the resolution would have been fundamentally and more fairly a declination. Pardon warranted. Ask yourself a vastly more important question. Do you really think Kash Patel is qualified to lead the world's preeminent law enforcement investigative organization? Obvious answer, hell no. Well, Eric, I've been saying this more than once on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. I don't know if Kash Patel is qualified to lead the FBI, but the right pigs are squealing. Pig? So there you go. Democrats have been obsessed with Kash Patel ever since he exposed the fact that the outgoing Obama administration officials had unmasked the names of Americans in foreign surveillance wiretaps in their attempt to undermine the incoming Trump administration. That issue aside, Holder ignored the fact that Hunter Biden's case had been stalled precisely because he was Joe Biden's son and enjoyed special protection. He was never punished for gun crimes and tax violations until a federal judge in Delaware questioned the sweetheart plea deal he had been given. Even then, Hunter Biden was never prosecuted for evident violations of the Foreign Agents Registration Act for his work on behalf of foreign clients. Moreover, in 2020, 51 former national security intelligence assholes, I'm sorry, it says officials, falsely claimed that Hunter's incriminating and infamous laptop was likely the product of a Russian disinformation campaign. Lying bastards. Holder himself has been involved in controversial acts of clemency. In the waning days of Bill Clinton's presidency, Holder helped push through grants of clemency for members of the violent Puerto Rican terrorist group FALN, F-A-L-N. So, yeah, fuck Eric Holder. You prick. Shut up. In the Daily Wire, 2 Democrats have been speaking out against Biden pardoning his son. Now, that's interesting. We'll see. Let's read this one. One Democrat governor and one Democrat member of U.S. Congress spoke out against President Joe Biden pardoning his son on Sunday night, despite his repeated lies that he would not do so. Biden issued a sweeping pardon for his son. Yeah, we know that. Far-left Colorado Governor Jared Polis, a.k.a. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, that idiot, posted on X, while as a father, I certainly understand President Joe Biden's natural desire to help his son by pardoning him. I'm disappointed that he put his family ahead of the country. Oh my God, Jared Polis, at least you get a golf clap for that, okay? This is a bad precedent that could be abused by later presidents. Oh, you're only worried about what... Again, this is one of those things. I said it has nothing to do with them being concerned about the pardon being wrong. It has everything to do with how it affects Trump and his ability to pardon people. And that's what they're all doing. He says this is a bad precedent that could be abused by later presidents and will sadly tarnish his reputation. Oh, no, his reputation. When you become president, your role as pater familias of the nation. Hunter brought the legal trouble he faced on himself, and one can sympathize with his struggles while also acknowledging that no one is above the law. It's right up there. Whatever. Not a president and not a president's son. So, again, see what he did there? Not a president. And when he said not a president, he meant President Trump. But did he also mean President Biden? Because Biden's exposed here, and now that Hunter Biden no longer has Fifth Amendment protection on this, it could get very interesting. Good morning, Anna Lynn. And Andrew, you've been here a while, right? I said hi to you. If I didn't, I am now. I think I said it earlier. So anyway. Also, Representative Greg Stanton, a Democrat from Arizona, posted on X that Biden got this one wrong. This wasn't a politically motivated prosecution, he said. Hunter committed felonies and was convicted by a jury of his peers. President-elect Donald Trump slammed Joe Biden for pardoning his son, despite his promise that he would not. And again, he went back. That's about the J6 stuff. But it's interesting to see at least 2 Democrats criticizing this. Okay, so there you go. And then the only other article I'm going to put on this, In the Washington Free Beacon, their headline is, "Against it before he was for it, Biden pardons crackhead son Hunter after vowing not to do so." That is a golden headline. Here it is. I didn't put it on the screen. Biden pardons crackhead son Hunter. You know that pissed some people off. But anyway, pretty much the same deal. He said he wouldn't do it, but he did it. Let's move on. So now we're going to go through reactions all over the place. Now, by the way, I don't think I read the actual pardon letter by Joe Biden. Where is it? I don't know where I had it here somewhere. Here's the actual statement from President Biden. So, "Today I signed a pardon for my son Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision making, and I kept my word. Even as I watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted." I mean it, really. I'm not kidding here. "Without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon as a straw purchaser, people are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form, except for some black people who are in jail right now for a long, long time." Just saying. "Those who were late paying their taxes because of serious addictions, but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties, are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear Hunter was treated differently." Except he hadn't paid him yet. "The charges in these cases came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Then a carefully negotiated plea deal agreed to by the Department of Justice unraveled in the courtroom, with a number of my political opponents in Congress taking credit for bringing political pressure on the process." No, the judge saw the plea deal and said, "Are you fucking kidding me? Hey, no way we doing this shit. You come back with something better, or we'll just be going to trial, motherfuckers." We didn't say motherfuckers, but probably the rest of it. With a number of had the plea deal held, it would have been a fair, reasonable resolution of Hunter's cases, except for the fact that the plea deal wasn't anything like any normal case anyone else would go through. So no one else would have got that plea deal if their name wasn't Hunter Biden. "No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion that Hunter was singled out only because he was my son. Nope. And that is wrong. There has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, except when he was doing coke on the balcony at the White House, even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective prosecution." Selective prosecution? Holy shit. There's someone else. There's somebody else who could claim selective prosecution. What's this guy's name? Because they've been fucking with him for, they waited till about a year ago, and then they fucked up because the case couldn't finish the cases before an election. But I know they were fucking with him on what he said, selective prosecution. Yeah, selective prosecution. We know all about selective prosecution. Yeah, y'all almost perfected it, except you had fucked up in some of it. Anyway, they tried. Let's see. In trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me, and there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough. Well, unless you pardon yourself, you might have some splaining to do when you get out of office. Hello, selective boy.
Yeah, boy.
For my entire career, I've followed a simple principle: just tell the American people the truth. Oh, he was serious. Oh, shit. They'll be fair-minded. Here's the truth. I believe. That sounds like him talking in a speech. Here's the truth. I believe in the justice system, but as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process. Are you sure Trump didn't write this about his stuff? And it led to a miscarriage of justice. Once I made the decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. Well, I don't give a fuck why a father would come to that decision. I don't necessarily have a problem with Joe Biden pardoning his son for the crimes that he was charged with and found guilty of or pled guilty to. I have a problem with the blanket pardon, although in some ways I celebrate the blanket pardon, because now Hunter Biden, Robert Hunter Biden, no longer has Fifth Amendment protection against those charges. So he cannot incriminate himself. So now under oath, he's got to, spit it out, but he could be charged with perjury if he doesn't tell the truth. And there's a lot of evidence on that laptop, which they have the entire contents of, that would make it hard for him to lie about something and not be charged with perjury. So that's why I think Joe Biden's going to pardon a whole bunch of his family and maybe even himself. That would be interesting. And if he sets that precedent, oh boy, wait till what the guy with the funny hair does. Just wait. All right, let's go through some reactions up and down the line. Here from Zero Hedge. Did you know why Biden picked 2014 as the first year of Hunter's pardon? Well, that's when he was appointed director of Ukraine's Burisma, starting a sequence of events that almost ended in World War III. And so we go full circle, as in right now it's ending in World War III. So this is the actual grant of clemency again. Here it is. Burisma Holdings, Ukraine's largest private gas producer, has expanded its board of directors by bringing in Mr. R. Hunter Biden as a new director. That was in 2014. That was when it all started. Hello, refugees helping retirees. Let's see. Oh, dude, you're so cool with all the real criminals, including Trump, that Trump pardon. Just stop it, dude. You're not a serious person. Educate yourself. Bitch, please. And by the way, welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here because I like it when people disagree with me on the show. You're welcome to come here anytime you want and disagree with me all you want. I just said, if you weren't here a minute ago, I just said I have no problem with Joe Biden pardoning his son. It's his prerogative as president of the United States, and he can pardon whoever the fuck he wants. I just want to see if he ends up pardoning himself, because there's a lot of incriminating evidence that we've already heard from the laptop, and I want to know exactly who Hunter Biden meant by the big guy. Profiteering off your time in office, probably a little worse than all the people Donald Trump pardoned, except for maybe Blagojevich. That one's kind of weird, but pardons are presidential things. Every president has some questionable pardons. Whatever. That's still their prerogative. Now, let's get back to what I was talking about. Welcome to the show, by the way. I appreciate you being here. Let's see. Okay, where was I? Okay, so that's there. Can you actually pardon yourself? We don't know. It's never been tried. That's the interesting question. Can Joe Biden set the precedent of pardoning himself? And if he sets that precedent, I don't know why there's any reason he couldn't. Then, what would stop the guy with the funny hair from doing it? I'm just curious. I think it's a bad precedent, and I don't think either of them should do it. In fact, I want the appeals process on Trump stuff to go through, because none of those cases are going to make it on appeal. They'll all be thrown out on appeal, no doubt in my mind. And well before they won't even get to the Supreme Court. The only way they'll get to the Supreme Court is if the people who brought the cases get them to the Supreme Court, because every single one of them is going to be thrown out. I guarantee it. Especially those two cases in New York. Those are the worst. And you already saw the appeals process on one of them, where the judges are like, they're debating at the end of that appeals hearing whether or not there's going to be sanction on the prosecutors. So they were begging not to be sanctioned. That was hilarious. All right, moving on. Here, someone's named Vidi Mimi, something like that. Hello, Renee Mayette, by the way. So the headline from the AP, which I think is going to change: Biden pardons his son Hunter despite previous pledges not to. Well, Mimi, whatever this is, came up with some alternate headlines that they thought about. These are kind of funny, actually. Other headlines the AP struggled with before going with this factual one. Biden. These are the alternate headlines to this case. The first one: Biden accidentally signs mock document on his desk pardoning his son. Okay, no, that wasn't a good one. Another one, lamenting they will not be around for next April Fool's Day. Biden's staff tricks him into signing a document pardoning his son. Well, no, he did it on purpose. Another one here, while practicing signing pardon documents prior to his last day in office, typo on practice document accidentally grants Hunter Biden a pardon. Well, no, that wasn't it. And then the final one they came up with, in a strange twist, during a visit with Trump after the November 5th election win, Trump threatened Biden with lawfare unless he pardoned Hunter. There you go. Those are perfect possible headlines. Congratulations. Are you still here, retiree, whatever the hell your name was? I kind of enjoyed your comment. Please argue with me. I love it. Please, I want you to. Oh, rim shot? Here you go. All right. Moving on. Here's some other reactions. This is someone, what is this? Sarah Rose. Hunter Biden right now. Oh, by the way, this is I should be ashamed for what one? I don't know what that means. What's that mean? Okay, here's there's a little videos to do.
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand.
By the way, retirees helping retirees. This is actual footage of Hunter Biden smoking crack and Joe Biden talking about crack possession, just so you are aware of what this is.
$0.25 of $1. We passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others. A law that says you're caught with that,
a little tiny piece of crack.
You go to jail for 5
but
years.
No one's above the law.
You get no probation.
What?
You get nothing other than 5 years.
A pardon from daddy. That's what you get.
In jail. Judge doesn't have a choice. Under our forfeiture statutes,
Now, I'm concerned. I'm going to skip this one because I don't know if there's any footage of Hunter Biden's penis, and I don't want that on my screen. So I'm just going to the link to this video is in the links today, which I'll be dropping in the chat shortly. Hello, Midnight in Exile. Yes, I can start the show. Fantastic. Should I play the theme song again? No, I'm not going to do that. So anyway, let's see. What's the next one here? Chris Eliza, everyone's favorite lolcow, former CNN correspondent Chris Eliza, says this is a colossally selfish decision that will allow every Trump supporter to note that Democrats say one thing and do another. Now, this is another case of people who are Biden allies. Chris Eliza is definitely a Biden ally, criticizing this decision not because that you pardoned a crack addict who broke federal law and has all other kinds of other problems, but because of how it relates to Donald Trump. That's the important criticism that they have of this decision. So here again, it'll allow every Trump supporter to note that Democrats say one thing and do another. To which Cat Turd, he's kind of a weird dude anyway. You mean every time a Democrat opens their mouth? Oh snap. There you go. So here it is. Then there it is. President Biden pardoned his son, blah, 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 blah. We've already read the whole thing. Moving on. Stephen Miller put this up. John, they're making fun of people who had this kind of thing. He says, puts up a post by John Harwood, who's used to be a CBS correspondent, but now is he with CNN now? Journalist, public speaker, ex-Wall Street Journal, New York Times, NBC, CNN, whatever. People who insist Biden will pardon Hunter after specifically ruling it out are telling on themselves. Oh my, they can't imagine someone acting on principle and keeping his word. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. And then here, Joe Biden, no one is above the law. Oh, snap. Moving on. Here's some more. Now, this is Andrew Weinstein, the famous lawyer. Andrew Weinstein talking about, wait a minute, I'm sorry, what was this? Talking about how Biden, telling us about Joe Biden's character. This is glorious. Here we go. Andrew Weinstein on MSNBC, The Mess.
What is before us is a president who is living the rule of law. He is living it in the most personal way.
Personal.
He is not pardoning his son.
He's not going to pardon his son.
Which he could do. These are federal charges. He is not doing that. He is not doing it because he is living what it means to have a rule of law in this country. And it is, if you want to know if he believes it, you can actually see what is happening with his own son.
I can see it. I can feel it.
I'm not saying that he should get credit for it because it is the right thing.
He shouldn't get credit. That's just the norm.
Exactly. Yeah. It's that
and her just agreeing along. You know, it's funny. I laugh at how some of these people do interviews. So Kristen Welker, I was looking at an interview of her with what's the pencil neck guy, Adam Schitt, you know, and it's so funny when she interviews Adam Schitt. She'll ask a question and then she'll sit there for like 2 minutes silent while Adam Schiff answers a question, and it's amazing. I didn't know Kristen Welker could keep her mouth, her yap shut for more than 5 seconds when she asked a question was talking based on her, her interviews of J.D. Vance or any other Republican. If it's a Republican, man, she's interrupting, pushing, snapping, whatever. But I was watching the interview of her with Adam Schitt, and she would ask a question, and then she would shut up until the answer to the question, and then she would go, oh, and be nodding her head yes, and whatever, and everything's perfect. And then she would ask a easy follow-up, multiple choice follow-up question, and then she would ask another question, and then she would shut up while Adam Schitt was answering. And I was like, holy shit, I didn't think you could keep your mouth shut for more than 10 seconds. Anyway, what's her name here? This chick, whatever, I can't remember her name. Notice how she's just, oh, you were so smart and everything's beautiful and Joe Biden is so awesome.
The idea that you can't see it, or is that really what's going on? Or when you can see
she's not interrupting at all.
What he is actually
she's not
living
interrupting
by is
him.
his own son is being prosecuted, and he is allowing the norms that are required to live in a democracy to go forward. What is before
democracy? Oh, he said the magic word. So anyway, then there's this one. Oh my gosh. Oh, Ana Navarro, everyone's favorite. And this is Ana Navarro on Bill Maher show talking about how Joe Biden has promised not to pardon his son. Yes, he's so principled. Ana Navarro, this is beautiful. Listen to Ana talk how wonderful Joe Biden is.
We need to do compare and contrast here.
Compare and contrast,
so
yes.
Joe Biden's gotten asked about, talking about law and order. He's gotten asked if he would pardon his son. He has said no.
Right.
He got asked if he would commute the sentence of his son. He has said no. On the other side, you've got Donald Trump, who has said that he will pardon the January 6th insurrectionists. They're not even his sons. They're just sons of bitches.
They're not even his sons. They are sons of bitches. I didn't know you had any sons, Anna. So anyway, well, I guess Joe Biden just pardoned his son, didn't he, Anna? There you go. Stupid bitch. Then there is, let's see, what's this? I've just got all kinds of them. Let's see. This is a supercut. Corporate media, obviously Biden would never, ever pardon his son because you know what? No one is above the law.
The presidential promise to put the law before a family.
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that. I will not pardon him.
Letting the world know that he will not wipe away the decision of 12 of his son's peers.
Was asked directly, and he has said he wouldn't pardon his son if he gets convicted.
Let's wait to see what happens if he loses.
Yeah, but he said it.
He's going to get pardoned by his dad. There's no question about that.
The president has ruled out pardoning his son.
Major commitment from the president, accepting the outcome of.
What is going on with her lipstick? Is she trying to make her lips look like lips and not little thin lines? I don't know what she's doing there. Anyway.
The trial, and also pledging not to pardon his son.
So the challenge for him is really to continue to live up to his values when it was really personal, and he did that today.
It seems like a pretty normal, straightforward answer, but it takes new weight when we see what Trump is saying about the outcome of his trial, what we're hearing.
And why isn't S.E. Cupp wearing pants? I'm trying to figure that out, too.
By the Republicans who say they don't accept the jury's verdict here in New York.
The contrast is profound. To sit there and say, well, I'm not going to intervene in the legal process, and I wouldn't pardon my son. One side, Democrats and Joe Biden protecting the justice system. And on the other, Republicans and Trump protecting Trump.
Our current president of the United States has so much respect for the law that he has said he would not pardon his son. I mean, what... Yeah. You know, again, it's all about the contrast.
President Biden saying, I will respect whatever this jury decides, versus
right.
Donald Trump after he was convicted on 34 counts, saying the entire system is
the 34 counts that are about to be blown up in the appeals court? Yeah, let's see how that goes.
Against him.
Their latest attack has been that Joe Biden has politicized and weaponized the DOJ, right? That was the whole argument around Donald Trump's conviction. And this week, of course, Hunter Biden was found guilty. And Joe Biden has very clearly said he would not pardon his son. He would not commute his sentence. How stark is this difference? I mean, how can Republicans keep making this argument now that Joe Biden has really put it out there? Where's Hunter? And he stood there in a courtroom, flanked by his family, and he's accepted his sentence.
He is not pardoning his son. Which he could do. These are federal charges. Right. He is not doing that. He is not doing it because he is living what it means to have a rule of law in this country.
Right, and then if you want to see this whole
thing,
there's 9 minutes of people telling us that he's not going to pardon his son. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Again, Eric Holder, here's the reality. No U.S. attorney would have charged this case, except yes, they would have. There are people in jail for these exact charges, Eric. I'm going to call him a dumb fuck, but he's not dumb. He's just lying. And Karine Jean-Pierre, the very French-sounding Karine Jean-Pierre. Here is Karine Jean-Pierre at least 4 times saying that this is never going to happen. Now she looks like an idiot. Oh, I can't wait for today's White House presser. Asking about, well, wait a minute. We got you on video multiple times saying...
But from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No. I just said no. I just answered.
The president would not pardon or
Did she say no
for his son Hunter. I just want to make sure that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The
It's not going to change.
It's still a no.
What if he would have won?
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no. And I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son?
No, I insist it's no.
His son, Hunter, is also up for being sentenced next month. Does the president have any
when's the pardon coming?
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands.
And your answer stands. Okay.
President Biden says that he's not going to pardon his son, Hunter.
How about today, Latrine? How about today? It's the same answer. I'm just good. There's no suspense here. You know what the answer is. It's just a little more snarky when what's his face here? Peter asks it. All right. I got to get through these if I can. Here's escape. There we go. Okay. So now this one. This is Eli Hoenig. On what a Biden pardon would do to Joseph Rahim Biden's legacy.
I want to read you something that the Democratic governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, posted about this. Mm-hmm. He's not okay with the move.
He wrote in part, I'm disappointed that I'm going to give Jared Feliz Navidad Polis some credit for that. I'm going to give him credit. Although, again, Polis's reasoning is, where is it? It has nothing to do with Biden doing this, but... where is it? A bad precedent that could be abused by later presidents. Come on. You want to talk about abusing the pardon process. Every president has controversial pardons. Okay? It's already been abused. Okay? I'm just saying. But let's hear Eli Hoenig.
Put his family ahead of the country. This is a bad precedent that could be abused by later presidents and will sadly tarnish his reputation. Does this pardon damage the justice system?
That's the only reason they care.
Well, I totally agree with the governor that this pardon will tarnish Joe Biden's legacy. I mean, Joe Biden, let's be clear here, he lied to us for a long time. He said categorically, I will not pardon my son. He said, I will take it off the table, and he couched it in very high-minded terminology. I respect the Justice Department. I respect the jury's verdict. Well, now he's gone back on that. I don't know how many people actually believed him. I certainly didn't. There's tape of me saying there's no way he's going to make good on this. He's absolutely going to pardon Hunter Biden. But as to whether this tarnishes the justice system, I don't think I would go that far. I think this, like I said, will go down on the list of ignominious presidential pardons, but I don't think law students 50 or 100 years from now are going to look back at this as a horrific miscarriage of justice that undermines the foundation of our justice system. There is a reasonable argument that in some respects Hunter Biden was treated unfairly, and I think that would give Joe Biden some degree of cover here.
No, anyone caught doing what he did would be charged and whatever. He got kid gloves treatment and almost got a plea deal that wasn't warranted. That's what really happened. Now, I wanted to get to Joe Walsh because he is the prime example. He's just nonstop tweeting about Trump and how much he hates Trump and Trump's a danger and this and blah, 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 right? And he is very upset with this pardon. But like I said before, he's not upset that Joe Biden pardoned his son. He is upset of how it affects Trump, how it gives Trump cover. That's the only reason Joe Walsh is upset about this. And he's been doing it all day long. Every time he mentions this pardon and how let's give an example. Here it is. He writes, Biden lied. Shame on him. He lied. So the next time Trump lies, Americans can just shrug their shoulders and say, all politicians lie. Way to go, Biden. He's mad because he gives Trump cover, not because Joe Biden pardoned his son. Real quick. Thank you, Avocado Salvi. Another couple bullets in the tip jar. Who says, quote, man on trial for rape. Your Honor, when she said no, I thought she was role-playing as Joe Biden being asked if he would pardon his son. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I can't. Okay. Oh, my God. That's terrible. You are something else. So anyway, that's the only reason Joe Walsh gives a shit about this. So I'm going to move on. So here is Joe Walsh in an interview on MSNBC because now Joe Walsh's career is basically made of, he's making his own niche as a former Republican who is now anti-Trump, blah, 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 blah. That's his whole shtick now. That's how he makes his money now. He his radio show sucked and that's how he does. So here he is on MSNBC complaining about this pardon. Listen.
What do you make of all of this? What is likely to be the response on Capitol Hill to this breaking news?
Good to be with you. See, I told you so. They're all like that. So the next time any of us complain about anything Trump does,
again, it's all about Trump. Nothing to do with whether or not this was good, bad, or ugly. It's all about how Trump can use this. And that's the only thing this motherfucker cares about. His Trump derangement syndrome is the worst on the internet. It's amazing. Every single day, 20 times a day, he tweets and basically nothing, bashes Trump all day.
This pardon is just deflating. For those of us who have been out there for a few years now yelling about what a unique threat Donald Trump is, for Joe Biden to do something like this, Trump, nobody's above the law, we've been screaming. Well, Joe Biden just made clear his son Hunter is above the law. Donald Trump lies every time he opens his mouth, we've been screaming. Joe Biden repeatedly lied about this.
And this kills
the
Joe Walsh.
politicization of the justice system. Donald Trump and his people have been screaming.
Well,
That's exactly what Biden said here.
Joe, is this a politics of purity? I mean, we had Donald Trump pardon Sheriff Joe Arpaio during his term.
Doesn't matter.
There wasn't a lot of hue and cry about that. I mean, this is a father who saw his first wife killed, his daughter killed in a car crash, his 2 young sons survive. One goes on to have real difficulties with addiction. Another dies because of cancer. This is a family that's really troubled.
Yeah, I have no idea who this chick is.
Yes, he said he wasn't going to do this, but did anyone ever believe that that was the case? I mean, I would have put good money.
Is this, I know, did they get like a bulk rate for these glasses? They like buy them by the gross because like Maddow, Chris Hayes, this, whoever the hell this is.
On this happening, like, are many people going to be surprised?
This ambiguously, never mind, racial person.
But
and ambiguously everything. Is it a dude? Is it a girl? Is it a trans woman? Is it a trans man? I don't have no idea what this is.
A father who is also the president would do this for his son?
I don't know that people will be surprised because you're right. Joe Biden repeatedly said he wouldn't do this.
Joe Biden has repeatedly lied through his entire political career. That's why no one's surprised, Joe. This Joe, not that Joe.
So he repeatedly lied. But this just furthers the cynicism that people have about politics, and that cynicism strengthens Trump.
Again, it's about Joe Washington. This has nothing about the pardon. It has to do with everything to do with Trump with this guy. It's hilarious.
Because Trump can just say, I'm not a unique threat. Everybody does this. If I do something for my kid, my son-in-law, whatever, look, Joe Biden does the same thing. I get it, but this was a selfish move by Biden, which politically only strengthens.
And I'm not even saying he's wrong, but that's all he cares about. He's not. Maybe he's right, but it's the only reason he cares about this pardon. It has nothing to do whether the pardon's right or wrong. It's all about what it does for Trump, for this asshole.
It's Trump. It's just deflating.
It's just deflating. Oh, my God. All right. We'll do a couple more, and then I got to get out of Dodge. Let's see. Again, Joe Walsh. It's perfectly okay to say that both Joe Biden was wrong to pardon his son, and Donald Trump is by far the most corrupt, dishonest, lawless person ever to sit in the White House. Well, that leaves that. Look. To be lawless doesn't mean it's what the media reports, because boy, oh boy, Barack Obama did some shit that he got away with. George W. Bush, the whole war thing. Bill Clinton, oh my God, the trail of dead bodies. I am not suicidal. Come on now, Joe. And then, and then finally, let's get Scott Jennings goes off on the brain dead Democrats. This is a couple minutes long. We'll get to it. Let's watch this one regarding the pardon.
Listen, you guys can spend all day long trying to spin this, that this is Donald Trump's fault, that this is somehow caused by Donald Trump. Oh, he's appointing the wrong people. Oh, he did it. Oh, this is the worst possible thing a president could possibly do to his party and to the country, to sit for a year and say, I will not do this. I will not do this. The rule of law is sacred. We have to respect the justice system.
No one is above
juries.
the law.
We have to respect juries. We have to respect the guardrails and the norms of our democracy. These people are liars. Inflation is transitory. Afghanistan, it's a success. The border is secure. Robert Hur is a liar. The videos are cheap fakes. Biden has a cold. He'll never drop out. Oh, I'll never pardon Hunter. It's all a
my
lie.
bell can't ring my bell fast enough.
Every American,
Where's
except the most partisan, brain-rotted people, are going to be outraged by this today. He
I have
is
to bring
going
back
to
the
leave
manual
off.
bell for
you
that
think
shit.
39% job approval is bad? Just you
come on,
wait.
push back.
Just
Try to push
wait.
back.
He's disgraced today. Outrageous.
You don't need to. But Scott, you don't need to hurl names and say people like me are brain rotted. Come on, that's a little beyond the pale, even for you, Scott.
Listen,
we can disagree.
You don't have to defend this. He's leaving office. You don't have to defend it. You don't have to die on this hill. You can say this is wrong because everybody knows that it is. It's wrong. Are you fine with the lying? Are you fine with him sitting before the election all year and lying to the American people? Are you fine with the lying about it?
I don't think that he was lying. I think he made a decision after the fact and decided this was the right thing for him and for his family. Period.
Let's see how many of the rest of his family how much the rest of his family he pardons.
Well, stop. Donald Trump decided that it was okay to pardon
Joe Biden, Karine Jean-Pierre. How many minutes of tape do we have of both of these people telling the American people this will not happen? It's I mean, we could play it all morning. It's a lie, and it's a lie to benefit his own family, and that's all that it is. And everybody who went on TV and said, oh, look how he's the modern George Washington. He's drained every ounce of credibility from every surrogate. If Karine Jean-Pierre had an ounce of self-respect, she'd get off the plane in Africa today where they're going so he can avoid the press and resign. He's drained all of her credibility, and everybody else who's defended this.
That's right. She's going to be they're in Africa. They're going to be in Angola, so there's not going to be there's a traveling group that goes with a press that goes with them, but I don't know how many of them there are. And I'm pretty sure Peter Tuesday's not on that plane, but we'll see.
Draining for them forever.
So anyway, Scott Jennings tears them apart. I've got a few others here. Cenk Uygur, a renowned Ukrainian gas expert, was just pardoned. I'll give him time to work on his modern art, and it should give the country time to focus on something important instead of this political bullshit. Of course, he used his name for money. Of course, he was targeted politically. Oh, even Cenk Uygur. I think Cenk might not be getting funding from what's the dude's name? Katzenberg or whatever. I think he might not be getting funding because now Cenk's just saying whatever the fuck he wants. That's pretty good. And again, Cenk was being facetious when he said he was targeted politically. And that's what I'm saying. I think Cenk was being, I don't know how do you spell facetious? Is that right? It'll certainly here. There we go. I didn't know how to spell. Thank God for spell check. Anyway, so there you go. Also, who do I got here? Refresh. Oh, my instant react. This is Ben. Oh, Ben Shapiro. I got Ben Shapiro's reaction, but it's very long-winded, so we're not going to play it. If you want to see it, it's here. Also, here we got. How much time do I got? I'm good. Catherine Herridge, after assurances of no pardon was forthcoming, the accuracy of the White House statement is also questionable based on our recent interview with IRS whistleblowers Gary Shapley and Joseph Ziegler. Listen carefully as Ziegler explains a critical timeline in the IRS felony tax case. Why now? Hunter Biden's sentence for felony gun and tax conviction was scheduled later this month. So you can go through that. Here, 35 seconds.
What do you think the biggest misconception is about the Hunter Biden case?
That he committed this felony tax conduct while he was high on drugs and he was out of his mind and it's not true. He actually filed these false tax returns when he admitted in his book that he was newly sober. So all of this conduct, if you look at the book compared to what's filed on the tax returns, when you compare those two things, they don't match up.
Okay, so there you go. That's that was a confession he made in his book. A few more. Let's see. Now, our friend, the 3-year Letterman, my favorite, I'm going to say it out loud before I read it, parody account posted this, and I'm sure there's going to be some, and I'm going to finish with this because it's funny as fuck. Let's get rid of that. Where is it? Oh, shoot. Where is it? This one right here. Okay. There's other links, but I'm not going to do them. But this is my favorite. We'll finish this one because it's funny. Braking, spelled as in like you're stopping your truck. In a brazen unconstitutional act, Joel Biden, he said Joel, has pardoned, Latin for declared innocent, his grandson Hunter of his conviction earlier this year for conspiracy to commit laptop fraud. Yes, The Declaration of Independence gives the president pardon power, but not for family members. No president has ever pardoned a family member or a family member of their staff or cabinet since it violates the nepotism clause. He must be arrested. Sounds like something Keith Olbermann would say. So I'm just waiting for someone who took this seriously. He didn't, darn him. The Declaration of Independence was never notarized, therefore it's null and void. That's a perfect comeback for that. This is why I don't pay taxes. This does not put Hunter back in line of succession, though, which is bad news for Speaker Harris. They just don't have this kind of citizen journalism on Blue Sky. Well, that's Joel's grandson. Was DJ Vance involved too? Okay, this is all the people who are replying are in on the joke. I'm trying to find somebody who takes this seriously. Former President Benjamin Franklin just re-electrocuted himself in his grave. So these are all people who get the joke. I hope the Supreme Court of Scranton takes this case right away. Okay, so there you go. All these links are going into the chat as soon as I can. Plus, I got the aggregator, my favorite aggregator. I just put the whole thing in there today because I'm too lazy to take out articles. There's much more. Plus, there's a few articles about this that I'm not getting to. So lots of great stuff in the links, which I'm dropping right now. Today's links. And then will also be in the description down below by the time the outro ends. So there you go. There's today's links. I hope you had fun today. I certainly did. And even though it's all about Hunter Biden, thank you everyone for joining us on the show. Thank you for our great sponsor, Avocados Diabli, dropping the bullets and becoming the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be a lot more tired because, overnight work sucks, but that's how it goes. I do it for you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. It is time for me to go. My name is P-Dog Knight, and I am the fuck out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thanks for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.